Hey, what's up, Rashad? Antonio. The Marvels, all spoilers. MCU Collective. Again, this is a podcast. By the way, if you're like on YouTube or you have YouTube Music, there's a section that says podcast. Make sure you add us because Google Podcasts, like many of the things that Google makes, is going to die. So make sure that you add us back on YouTube Music. It'll show up as a video podcast as well as an audio podcast, and it'll count on the YouTube side too. So yeah, it still counts as a view for us. We saw the Marvels. We really hadn't had time to talk about it. So we're gonna go over the movie a little bit, just talk about the general plot stuff, how we felt about it, and that that daggone post credit scene. But yeah. I'm gonna go first. The Marvels to me was a very and I posted like a real quick just like non-spoiler review just for the socials before I went to sleep. And I still feel the same way today. It has some stuff that I really liked in this movie, and it has some stuff that I really did not like. It just wasn't for me. All right, the stuff that I liked, again, this is spoilers. So we're gonna talk about from the jump. The action sequences, the way that they okay, the way that they integrated these three very disparate characters together and to make them a quote unquote team, I really like that because we have essentially like a 17-year-old girl, a grown woman in Sienna Paris, and essentially Captain Marvel, who's like 60 years old. You know what I'm saying? Even though she looks like she's like 35, she's 60. So making them a team and how they did that was it, I really appreciated that. You know what I'm saying? The main thing the main things that I really didn't like was the singing and dancing bit. Not that they were singing and dancing, but it just we just held on to that just a little bit too long for me. Also, I think we need to accept that. And the funny thing, like Desiree said this too. Des was like, "Yo, Nick Fury was really giving Grandpa in this," and I was like, "You know what? You're absolutely right.
He was.
Yeah, he was Grandpa Nick in this,
Pop,
and
pop, pop.
Pop Nick, Pop Fury, and coming after Secret Invasion, it even makes more sense because he really too old for this, man, and it's time for us to get a get a new galvanizing force for the MCU. But yeah, other than that, I played this in regards to like Phase 4 and 5. This is probably like right in the middle somewhere. To be honest, like it didn't bother me, but like I this movie would have benefited a lot if the actor strike wasn't still happening. You know what I'm saying? Because being able to see just the excitement, especially for Iman Vellani, they kind of robbed that from her because we saw how hard she was going for her own series, and she was doing a lot of press for that. And she's like a really she's a fan. You know what I'm saying, of the MC before she was ever like an actress. She's a legit fan. And even her doing that thing at the end with the whole like her being her whole play on Nick Fury with Iron Man in the post credit of Iron Man 1, doing that whole thing. I'm pretty like I would not be surprised if she asked them to do that. You know what I'm saying? Because she a fan for real. So I feel like they really robbed her of that. That could have helped a little bit with some sales. But other than that, decent outing. I'm not. What you feel, Tony?
I'm trying to be really nice about this. And you know me, man.
Man, say how you feel.
Like you, there were some things I liked, but there was a whole lot of things I didn't like. And I'm just going to go ahead and put this. I was telling people at work the other day after I saw it. It was like, Tony, what's your opinion of the movie? I hear it's not really getting great reviews. I said, in my opinion, it's definitely one of the bottom tier MCU movies. And they was like, well, how bottom tier you put it? I said we talking possibly Thor: Dark World. We possibly talking Thor: Dark World
All
bottom tier.
right. Since we did, since we're here, all right, let's okay. So, and this was me. Like, and why did I instantly think about ranking as soon as I finished seeing it? I was like, okay, so I said to me, this isn't Thor: Dark World bad, but it's crazy because this is a better movie than Quantum Mania. Now, what you think about Quantum Mania and what Quantum Mania should have done? And think about this movie.
Okay. You know what? That makes sense.
So that's what I'm saying. Like this is
I
like
just completely forgot. I completely forgot about.
Yeah, don't forget about that. Cause like in retrospects, like we like
and you know what I think too? I think I went into this with low expectations. Like, all right, because last year we talked about Miss Marvel series. We weren't really good fans of it. You know, we was like,
that really wasn't for us. And I was like, I was okay with it.
Right. Okay, here was some of my main issues with it. It's like, but I think that's because I am now a crotchety old man, apparently. Whatever, my birthday was early this week, so crotchety old man. The fangirling of Kamala Khan was just doing too much. It was doing way too much for me. Like, okay, I get during the series of Miss Marvel, why that was a big thing for her. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, sweetheart, you got your powers now. You know what I'm saying? You should be like, hey, you know what I'm saying? This and that. No, I mean, it was, and it turned, and I guess because it was a movie, they said, let's turn this up some more. And I was just like, oh my God. And everything. And the whole, eye patch. Oh my God, Nick Fury. And I was just like, oh my God, this is already getting on my damn nerve. Within the first 5 minutes, I was like, this is already getting on my nerve for this movie. The singing scene, the singing and dancing. I will say this. At first, I was like, that's pretty damn funny.
Me too.
I was like, yo, that is funny that this civilization, that's how they speak. That's like their way of communication.
This is so absurd.
It's singing and dancing. And then there was like, but they're speaking like English. It's like, yeah, hey, if you talk normal to them, they're going to look at you like they don't understand a word you're saying. And they kind of find out that the prince could speak like, and it was like, he understand. He was like, he's multilingual.
He's bilingual.
He's bilingual. What? But right, the whole dancing and singing scene did go a little too far. Like I said, I thought it was funny that that's how they communicated with each other, but it did go a little too far. So let me just talk about what I like.
All right.
Like I said, I did like what you said. How the action sequences with them interchanging with the fighting, you know what I'm saying, with their fighting styles. For those of you who don't really understand what their powers are, it's like Tiana Paris with her fine self, good God Almighty. She's basically explained it that Captain Marvel basically can turn light into straight up energy. You know what I'm saying? Straight up energy. Kamala Khan can turn light into physical form, matter or whatever. And she's like, I can see the entire spectrum of light, and I can use that to, she said she can see the spectrum and it can come through her, and she can make energy projections, with that as well. So I did like how, what I'm saying, and then the scenes when they were practicing how to, what I'm saying, make things work and everything with their powers. I did like that. The villain. I kind of like the villain because I understood why.
Yeah.
But it also was kind of like, you're doing too much, baby girl.
I wrote that down. I was going to be my next question for you. Like, did you buy, I guess you did, Villain Motivation, and what's the name? Zawe, is it Hudson?
Yeah, aka Tom
Yeah,
Hiddleston's
Tom Hiddlesticks is his fiance. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So black women everywhere. Anyway, I
Uh-huh.
like okay. I just want to talk about character design. Yo, they put fronts on your girl, yo. Your girl had caps. I mean, yo,
Uh-huh.
and the one between the gap and her front two teeth was
Yeah.
so unexpected. But
Yeah.
like, I'm like, man, like that's kind of fly how they
I
how they, how
know.
they did that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I like I understand, and this leads me to the meta part. Okay, villain motivation makes sense because now we figured out what Captain Marvel done did.
Yeah.
Captain Marvel. When I
You
when yo, Captain Marvel is is an annihilator, yo. Like
Yo, you know what she did, Rashad? You know what Captain Marvel did? She basically went straight Omni Man
yeah, I'm
on
about to
the
say the
creep.
same
She went Omni Man on the creep. Yo, you know how much of a menace to society you have to be for they don't even refer to you. She used to be part of the Kree Guard. They don't even refer to her by her name no more. They was like Annihilator. And she's like, hey, yo, I hate that name.
Like,
No,
stop
nigga,
calling me
you
that.
no,
that
nigga,
that
you
is you.
deserve that name, yo. Oh my god. So
Tony.
so if y'all don't remember at the end of Captain Marvel, and you gotta remember, this happened years ago. So this planet has been jacked up years ago. So Captain Marvel, that movie took place in the timeline like 94, 95-ish, if I'm not mistaken, or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. And when she left young Monica Rambeau and all them to go, you know what I'm saying, and she told my man, I can't think of my man, Jude Law character, she said, you go back and you tell the Supreme Intelligence that I'm coming for them, and I'm going to make this all right. And so basically, you know, it was a scene where the Marvels, they were all on Captain Marvel's ship, and they was like, hey, we need to basically like share mind mail with each other so we can figure out what we know for this. And you see that Captain Marvel straight up went back to Hala, the home world of the Kree, and just started wrecking shop. Went to the main tower citadel of the Supreme Intelligence, who basically runs the entire Kree society, and destroyed that AI system. But her destroying that AI system was basically keeping their society together, and it caused like a bunch of civil wars. Yo, the sun started imploding. They got famine. They got damn drought. They
They
can't even
can't
breathe.
breathe.
They can't breathe the air. I said, yo, Captain Marvel, yo, what are you doing? And mind you, so she did this, let's just say about 95, 96. Let's say, however long it took from her to get from Earth to Hala to do this. So for the last 30 some odd years, they have been living like this. So, and then too, what was her name? The main villain, Dinbarin or something,
Yeah,
or
Dinbar.
Dinbar. She was at, Supreme Command, Supreme Intelligence Headquarters, and saw the, how Captain Marvel was destroying everything. And so that's where her hatred comes from and for her vengeance. But yo, Captain Marvel was a straight up, she went back to Hala straight up. You know what I'm about to say, Rashad? 100% Black Air Force energy, yo, for real.
Yeah, my bad. Dar Ben. That's Zawe
Darben,
Ashton. We said
yeah.
Hudson. Yeah. Dar Ben. And I mean, when she went back, I laughed because like
I did too.
and like, oh yeah, I gotta get back to the meta part of this because when the first one when the Captain Marvel first came out, like that movie came out in 2019, right?
19 or so, yeah,
2019. So right in
that was the one
between
right before. That was
or
right
before
before
Endgame.
Endgame. Yeah.
And I was like, okay, just some world contextualization. We're like 3 years after The Last Jedi came out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I need y'all to understand The Last Jedi was the reason a lot of people was on Twitter and was able to gain platforms and talk about these like really fringe right wing things because of this movie. You know what I'm saying? Because of Last Jedi. And a lot
Mm-hmm.
of bots started to be like, running rampant on Twitter as well. After that,
Mm-hmm.
it was a lot of propaganda based around that movie. And
Mm-hmm.
then when Captain Marvel came out,
Overtime.
it it was
Went
like
to overtime.
it was like Circuit City and bots everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So
People hated seeing a powerful woman.
yeah. She said one thing about I wish we had more women at the junket because I want to talk to women about the female movie, which seems like the reasonable thing. So fast
Mm-hmm.
forward to this with them making her the most hated person. It just was so like, oh, gosh, I get what y'all doing, and even having
Annihilator.
yeah, and even having her have this conversation later on in the movie with Monica, and she's like, I wanted to make sure I come back, I get everything right. Like
Mm-hmm.
all that is all that is meta commentary
Mm-hmm.
about the actual actress, not just the movie, but all that
Yeah.
is meta commentary. You
Because
know
a
what I'm
lot of people
saying?
hated Brie Larson
Yo,
in
and,
this
and like
role.
and
Yeah.
and Brie
And Brie
Larson had
Larson ain't do nothing to
nothing to do
nobody.
with that. You know what I'm saying?
Nuh-uh. Yeah.
Nah, it's been a decent actress her whole career. So her
Mm-hmm.
having all this, you know what I'm saying, this grief is actually kind of asinine and goofy. This is like if you hate women and like you can't have a relationship with women and you really want one, there's no need to take it out on a woman. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You should take it on yourself because you probably do take it on yourself all the time. But like you should really be taking it on yourself. Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
yo, so her just yo, I love every time she flies through a ship because they hated that too when she did that.
Yeah.
That was oh
Yeah.
my god, Captain Marvel
Yeah.
just flew through a ship. Man, she said I'm flying through all things,
All
ships,
things.
buildings, people.
People.
I'm about to go super. I'm about to go super saiyan and just go fly through everything, yo.
Yeah.
And I was weak, man.
Yo. Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, good God. She is, and not just the Kree planet, but she is hated amongst the Kree Empire. Do you know how crazy that is? You hated amongst the Empire and the Kree. And what she said in that sector, the Kree, like 20% is under the Kree. Say 20% of that sector was under the Kree Empire. That's a lot if you really think about it for real. That
Dog,
that
even the scrolls hate her low key.
right. The scrolls was like, yo, you they were like, yo, you were supposed to help us find a new home world and stuff.
This
And
supposed to be we supposed to have a peace treaty with these
it's a
people. You know what I'm
peace
saying?
treaty, and here you come. And then, because of her actions and everything, and whatever, and caused their colony that they had right there to and oh my god, that was horrible, man, that they had to actually leave people to die.
And I appreciated that.
Yeah.
You know
Mm-hmm.
why? Because that was like the with great power comes great responsibility moment
Kamala.
for Kamala. Like she needed that because everything else up to that was her just fangirling out that
Mm-hmm.
that she was there. And just like you were saying, yo, you already got your powers. I need you to kind of like act like you did something before.
Yeah. And then too, she's even with that happening, she still was being a fangirl. Remember the scroll girl? She had her little toy. She was like, "Don't worry, Captain Marvel will fix all of this or whatever."
But even with that, like to
Yeah.
me, like I understood why because
Mm-hmm.
she's still holding on to a lot of that childlike like
Yeah.
idealism. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She think that it's gonna be like this idyllic world and
Mm-hmm.
everybody's gonna want to do the right thing. to a
Right.
certain degree.
And where the heroes always win, and
Yeah,
she
yeah, yeah,
realized
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah, yeah.
she can't realize it.
Nah,
Also,
nah.
shout out to my other boo boo that was in the movie, Tessa Thompson, making a little special,
Little quick
a
cameo for
little
the people.
quick cameo. So so this is funny. You think about it like this: if this takes place after Secret Invasion, how many they said? How many scrolls they say were on the planet? For like a million or something like
Over
that,
a
or
million.
over a million. You just added some more, but they're going to be in New Asgard in that part of what I'm saying, up in Norway and in Tongsberg, if I'm not mistaken,
Nah,
or
it
whatever.
feels like it's right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's crazy.
yeah,
I'm kind of looking forward to watching Thunderbolts and Captain America 4
yeah,
because they gotta pop back up. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? But
definitely
yeah,
so.
yo, so hold on. Next question. I got some more stuff. All right,
Uh-huh.
good. So this movie was like what, an hour and 45, 50 minutes.
Probably one of the shortest, if not
It was the shortest.
the shortest MCU movie. Yeah.
So looking at what we watched, what do you think was cut from this movie? Because there's some stuff that probably could have been added to kind of give it some more umph to me, but they cut this for time. It's like, yo, shed the fat ASAP.
I think some more stuff surrounding Monica and Captain Marvel, of their interaction, was cut some more. Also, it didn't seem like Kamala Khan was in it a whole lot. It like she was, but it wasn't a lot of, I guess you could say, scenes with just her and maybe somebody else. She was always there with all three. You know what I'm saying? Like, you saw scenes of Tiana Paris and Monica Rambeau and Captain Marvel. You saw scenes with Monica Rambeau and Fury, you know what I'm saying? Or else you saw Carol Danvers in Fury. But you never really saw a lot of like one-on-one time that she had with certain, you know what I'm saying, with certain people. She was always surrounded by, you know what I'm saying, the other two Marvel women.
That is true. I mean, because even when even how they did it, they had to include. It was always like we're gonna include somebody else in it. Even when they was with their moms and dad and the brother at the house, that was like the only scene where it was just her, and it was barely that because how they was fighting when they was swapping people or they were being swapped. So that's the run. That's a good catch. I didn't even notice that. The one thing that I think they really cut for time was and I think this is like my main gripe with this. Excuse me. My main gripe with this is the emotional beats were there. Like the scene when Monica and Carol are having a conversation about like, yo, like you wasn't there. You didn't come back. Like I idolized you. You told me you was gonna be back. You know what I'm saying? Like before I even knew it or whatever. And that scene, if they should have let that breathe just a little more, just to add that weight to it. You feel what I'm saying? And they did it a couple of times, and I know and that's where to me the sometimes like Marvel misses the mark. And I know this isn't the I know this isn't a director thing. This is a director's notes thing. It's clear because I know Nita Costa, she did like the Candyman movie. I know it was mad emotion in that. So there's these emotional beats that could elevate your film or your series, like we talked about last episode. We talked about Loki. Now with Loki, they let it be just as emotional as it needed to be because it served the plot. And that whole disconnect between those two characters would have even solidified that whole like trio relationship even more, because it kind of does, because like you see how Kamala having a family reacts to that, like, yo, you need to come and console her, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
but almost, I mean, and this is just kind of like being in therapy. Like you in therapy, like they're gonna let you cry. They're not gonna be up here trying to give you no hug. So let that
Mm-hmm.
person kind of
Have her,
process all that,
yeah,
have a moment,
yeah, the
and
moment, yeah.
then you can kind of walk in and be kind of, kind of have that familiar support. But that was the like the other than like, some of the goofiness of it, like that right
Mm-hmm.
there would have made this movie like just a little bit higher, like for me.
Right. I think emotional connection could have been a little bit, I'm saying, better with that. And it also felt like too, maybe I'm just tripping or maybe it's just me. It also, even though it was annoying the fangirling that Kamala was doing over it, it's like she never really had a chance to until the end of the movie to have her moment with Carol. You know what I'm saying? It was that, what I'm saying, of like they could have talked about, like Carol could have been like, yo, why are you so like, what is it about me? And she could have had her moment like, oh my God, you don't understand. You're this, you're the most powerful. You were the one that was there for Than. Like it never was explained, what I'm saying? Like that's something I think they could have done where she explained why she was such, what I'm saying, a fangirl of, what I'm saying, of that character, and then too, this was basically kind of like the opposite of what they say, never meet your heroes because they let you down. Like, she didn't really let her down, but it's just the fact that she never really, in my opinion, got a chance to explain why why she felt this connection with, what I'm saying, Carol Danvers.
No, that makes a lot of sense because then
Yeah.
that would explain like her obsession way back in her series, and even how we did it like the oh yeah, I appreciate the brief explainers because they did a really good job of making that short. You know what I'm saying? They did a good job of explaining everybody in like a good, I don't know, 5 to 7 minutes, then got on with the story. I
Mm-hmm.
appreciate that brevity I like. But some of the other stuff, like, yo, we gotta make sure that the emotional beats kind of stay in our and let them breathe a little bit. What you got?
Should we talk about somebody who was a low key, not really a low key, but a high key MVP of this movie?
Yeah.
Good, good old Goose.
Just the
Goose,
flirkins in general. You know what I'm
the
saying?
Goose,
Like
the flirt. Goose around there laying flirking eggs all over the. It was crazy. I was wondering, like, what the hell is this, and where is this
me
going
too.
in the movie? And then kind of find out it's basically, flirting. It's just basically Goose laid eggs and stuff, and I was confused at first because I thought when Goose would like break out the tentacles and eat the person, I thought they died, but apparently they don't.
They can
So
hold
some
on
of
to
them
them.
they
They
can
can just
hold on. They can, and apparently these Flurkins are smart enough to understand. You know what I'm saying? What Nick Fury and them wanted. You know what I'm saying? Wanted them to do, as you know what I'm
uh-huh.
saying, wanted them to do as well, to basically, like, it was like, hey, it's a lot easier to wrangle a bunch of Flurkins and a bunch of full-size humans inside this thing. And I said, oh, that's a genius plot.
All right,
um
let
let's
me
get to
talk
it.
about. All right, let's get to the end of the movie. So,
Yeah.
oh yeah, major plot point. Your girl Zawe, because I can't remember her
Yeah,
middle name.
she tore
She tried to essentially she's trying to take resources from all the places that Captain Marvel called home or associated with. So she
mm-hmm.
took the air from the first place. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? With all the all the
Scrolls.
scrolls is on. She took the water from the singing and from the shucking and jiving people. And then yeah, a whole lot of soft shoe over there. And then try to take the sun from like our solar system. And in doing so, she's tearing holes through the whole jump system. Unbeknownst to her, if she tears a hole big enough, she's essentially going to tear space time. And we
And
know
she did.
space time means different dimensions.
And she sure
So,
enough did.
and she did. You know what I'm saying? She ends
Mm-hmm.
up getting both bands, you know what I'm saying? Because Kamala's a kid and boom, she
Uh-huh.
got him. You know what I'm saying? They had to get Kamala back. It was a whole thing. That don't even matter. So they go to try to redeem, like, yo, like, and I love a villain's villain because she was like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna be good. We think
She's like,
and which Tony, which is another female trope because they was like, yo, we're gonna have all the females get along at the end. Mm. And we know in real life that's not how females operate.
Oh hell,
you know what I'm saying? Hell they gonna they let the beef ride. You know what I'm saying?
Women can be friends for 25 years. They have one disagreement, never speak to each other again.
And I'm not being chauvinistic. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, y'all, this is documented, yo. You know what I'm saying?
we've seen this happen.
I know this personally. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So she basically tricks them to think she's gonna do the right thing. Nah, she doesn't. And she ends up tearing a hole in space-time. And Monica's like, well, I can fix it. Basically, take out the bands back, put all the energy into me, and I'm gonna go and redistribute it and fix it back. You know what I'm saying? Because she can absorb the power and put the power back out. So she does that, and she tells them like, "Look, y'all, even though it's torn from the other side, I'm gonna do it from our side." And then she goes to the other side, and then starts to fix the tear. And they're like, hey, you on the wrong side, buddy. And she was like, I was never coming back. You know what I'm saying? And Marvel Marvel tries to go get her. Nah, hole is sealed. You know what I'm saying? She's she's in a whole nother dimension. Which leads us to
the mid-credit scene.
Mid-credit scene. She's in a hospital. Monica's in a hospital. She wakes up. She sees her mom. It's Lashana Lynch, y'all. You know what I'm saying? 007 herself. So and she's like, Mom, is that you? And she's like, I ain't your mom.
I ain't your mammy.
I ain't your mammy. You know what I'm saying? So she is like freaking out. She's apologizing. And then you hear this like very, very familiar voice. It's like, is our patient okay? I'm like, yo, I know that voice. They pan up. It is a big blue beast being voiced by
Kelsey Grammer,
none other than Fraser himself, Kelsey Grammer. And we see and like for some reason, Lashana Lynch is like draped in a blanket, so we don't really see her. So they said, hey, we're trying to figure out what's going on with her. He said, look, yo, you probably for some reason jumps to our dimension from another dimension.
Yeah, you're a little disoriented right now.
Yeah, but which is impossible, you know what I'm saying? Because they don't know anything about interdimensional travel, you know what I'm saying? And he's like, well, we got to get Charles an update. He won't know. So Lashana was like, well, I'll try to calm her down and figure out what's going on. Then she looks at her and says, man, who are you? And then our girl Monica was like, shit.
Yeah. She's like, shit.
She figures out like, I am not home and this is not my mama. And then all of a sudden,
Toto, we not in Kansas City anymore.
Not at all, yo. All the euphemisms. So she ends up getting up. She has this like this binary costume, which is a newer character that it was just very interesting because it's like a Captain Marvel offshoot. So in this universe, instead of becoming Captain Marvel, she became binary, and you can see how in every universe, there's this whoever is going to be one of them is going to be Captain Marvel or not.
And we have seen that this is the third rendition of Maria Rambeau, and two of them we've seen her as a superhero.
Yeah, one time she died of cancer, RIP. And then one time we saw her as Captain Marvel. And now we see her as binary, which she is classified as a mutant. We hear X-Men theme music. If you don't, also the X-Men theme music from Days of Future Past. So we go ahead.
Let's talk about it. Beast looked fucking fantastic.
Yo,
look fantastic.
I said, yo, that
and for those of y'all wondering,
like
yes,
Beast.
That is the Beast from the cartoon from the cartoon series.
Looks
That is the Beast.
so good.
And he looked fantastic. They had him looking right he's supposed to. He won't try to look like no cat or wildebeest or whatever else they've tried to make him look like in the other X-Men Fox, properties. Beast looked fantastic. And this is the perfect way to show that everything that was going on in the Prime universe that we know as the MCU, the mutants was there the whole time, but in another dimension. And I believe all this, Rashad, is going to lead up to when we get Secret Wars. All this is going to lead up to Secret Wars. And if we keep Kang the Conqueror around, this is my theory.
All right, go ahead.
I believe Kang the Conqueror is going to be a variant of the Beyonder.
Cool.
Who put the Secret Wars together.
Okay. What if between before King Dynasty and or Secret War? Matter of fact, let's say this. What if between King Dynasty and Secret Wars we get like the spilling of all the incursions happening and we get Avengers versus X-Men?
Bro. Yo, look.
I'm just saying, because then
for those of y'all that never read that, and if they follow true to it, amazing. One of the best crossovers ever.
It ain't even gotta be like real true to it, because how they're doing it. Because then then that'll be an easy way to spill over into Secret Wars. You know what I'm saying? Or they could have Secret Wars be the de facto Avengers versus X-Men.
Yeah.
And just had them fight each other like that. Like either way, man. Like
a way you can bring Tony Stark's back.
I don't even I hope they don't. But you know what I'm saying? Like I'm good on because like so on the real, have you seen Robert Downey Jr. like lately? He's looking like Grandpa Iron Man too. So like they need to like, we gotta press forward. But anyway, man, that is all the time we have for this. So man, if y'all seen the Marvels, please comment below your thoughts. If anything that we said that resonated with you, definitely let us know.
Yep.
We're gonna be cutting stuff up for the next 3 weeks for all this stuff. All right.
Click like and subscribe. That's all I got.
All that, man. We will see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Peace out, y'all.